Yeah, let's jump right into that, Scott, because clearly that is a position that the Knicks are looking into ahead of the trade deadline. I believe that, Bruce Brown and Alec Burks have been squarely on their list. Malcolm Brogdon, not as sure on that. Not sure if there's been big conversations there between the Knicks and Portland. Maybe that comes prior to the deadline, but clearly that's an issue that the Knicks are looking to address. And for you, Scott, is that how you, like, if you look at this team, look at what you have to move out, is that the deal you'd be focused on, or would you be focused on something else ahead of February
8th? I would be focused on trying to find somebody, again, like what I just mentioned earlier, can fill that role, come off the bench, can score you, capable of getting you 20 points if needed, and also not sacrifice the integrity of your game defensively. The name that stands out most to me, obviously, is Alec Burks, because he's been there. He's been in the locker room. The players know him. So he would seem to be more of a seamless fit. A guy like Bruce Brown, and I love Bruce Brown's game. I think he's tough, he's physical, he fits a lot of places. But he's a little more of a duplication for what the Knicks already have in a guy like Josh Hart and somewhat in Dante DiVincenzo and somewhat in Quentin Grimes. They're, more defensive-oriented players and not guys who really create off the bounce for you. Burks can do that. He can go get his own shot. Doesn't cost as much, and he's played for the coach there already. So he knows the system. Again, when you make trades in the middle of a season, you're not only taking on a player's statistics and his abilities, but you're taking on the personality. And so, to me, if you have a known quantity that you could get back in your locker room, that would be the ideal thing to do. Not that someone else who's never been there couldn't make it, but just if Alec Burks is, in fact, available, he would be someone that I think would fit seamlessly in what the Knicks are trying to do right now.
And I think another component to the Alec Burks acquisition, if it indeed happens, Scott and Ian, is think about how much of a highly motivated a player you're getting. I mean, if you told anybody, hey, you can escape getting out of the NBA cellar to come play for the New York Knicks, a team that's a legitimate playoff squad, I mean, that's all the incentive you'd have to tell me. I go from the outhouse to the penthouse. I'm doing that. Where do I sign? But I think Scott hit it right on the head, right? I mean, it's a guy who's been here, and Scott knows this, and Ian, you know this. When he was here, he was, I think, a selfless player for this team. He kind of did whatever the team needed him to do, play whatever role he needed. I mean, the guy was starting at point guard there for a while, just because they needed somebody to do it. But there really hasn't been that much of a difference in his game with the Pistons versus what we saw in New York. He's still shooting at about 40% from three, and being here, playing for the coach, being with this team, some of the guys, it would be a perfect fit for sure.